Good morning. It is me, Pearl, and this is Tuned in Tarot. Welcome. We're about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of self. Understanding that whatever state we find these energies in, we can expect to see reflected back to us in our outside world. So it's you can glean things about people from your real life, but what you're really looking at here is your own energy. And when we talk about the twin flame journey and you're talking about your twin soul or whatever it is that you're applying to a person that you think that might be, you're then really looking at your own energy reflected back to you. So when you're thinking like, "Oh, I need my DM or my DF to do this or do that so that they can shift and change and things can be how I want," you really have to be like, "Oh, I have to shift and change for things to be how I really want." And it's really not about that person at all. It's about me. Great. Love that for us. So let's take a look at this reading today. I'm in a weird place today. I'm like so confused about my own journey. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to go and get guidance from spirit when I rewatch this video afterwards. All right. Let's start with Divine Feminine because she showed a lot of cards and she's overthinking, and that feels about right. So, the first thing on her mind is really interesting. The forefront, rather, the overall state of her headspace, top of the deck, is the Wheel of Fortune. Good morning, Emily. So we have here her mind's thinking about good fortune, abundance, good timing. There's all of that. But the focus, I think, is really on the destiny and fate and wanting to know. Why do we watch tarot readings? Because we want to know. Some of us want to know the future, of course, although I don't really read the future. I read right now, the current energy, because in my system of beliefs, the future energy shifts and change based on free will. So what we can only see is what is now in the present moment. And we know that if we don't change or shift the energy, we can expect to keep getting more of the same. If we keep thinking the same thoughts, it's going to seem like we're stuck because everything that keeps changing constantly around us keeps changing back to exactly what we're thinking. So it's the same thing, same thing, same thing. So, but there are some of us who do seek to know the future. And really, if you don't shift the energy, I guess you can know the future. But there are those of us who come here to try to understand and get clarity about what's going on in the moment. There are those of us who come here to try to learn what the person they're interested is thinking or doing because that person won't speak to them and so they can't know from directly from that person. Some of us are trying to learn how to read. There's all these reasons for us to be here. But most of us are wondering about our fate or our destiny, what we're supposed to do, or the clarity about what is happening in this moment. And this is really on Divine Feminine's mind today. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I think I'm at the mercy of this fate. And I know that I'm co creating it because it's not a reversal. So it's not like I'm resisting my fate or, I want to be in control of my fate. I'm kind of flowing with it. But the fact that it's unknown and I don't know what's going to happen and I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do or who the person I'm supposed to focus on is or who I'm supposed to let go of or like what I've been doing, like it's all this kind of sort of energy that has to do with these big changes that have happened or are happening or she feels are going to happen. She is just so consumed with needing to know this energy. And the niggling thing in the back of her mind is the Six of Cups, the reunion. So when we've got reunion, then we've got this idea that there is a person, a specific individual, who we have in mind as either our soulmate, counterpart, or twin flame, or whatever label, and we want to reunite with them. So we've either been with them at some point in this life or another life, and we want to come into physical union with them. There's a That's the reunion aspect of the card. The Six of Cups is also about generosity and benevolence, just like the Six of Pentacles, but it's one of spiritual generosity and benevolence, right? It's one of giving a cup filled with an overflow from the self love that the individual has. And it's an individual that's a little more mature than the one who gives the cup. So there's this idea that it's like one side has learned and grown and now can share with this other, like, pure innocent side in this other person. So from the wisdom that you've gained in becoming an adult and growing and changing and shifting and expanding, you've learned how to share your cup. That's the true meaning of the Six of Cups. And it's not just about like, oh, I'm getting back together with my twin, like, no. It's, I have achieved a state where I've learned enough to be able to share my cup with an innocent, pure love from another and receive reciprocal love, reciprocated, right? That's the niggling feeling. So she's really, in the back of her mind, she's thinking about her destiny in regards to the reunion in this physical incarnation with her twin. The first thing on her mind is the Hierophant. So we've got a divine feminine who is trying to learn lessons here, because this is a card about higher learning and higher education. But it's about tradition, authority, marriage, legal contracts, and rigid belief systems as well. And this divine feminine, for her, I definitely think it's about marriage and wanting marriage. There's definitely an aspect of that, wanting a traditional trajectory, needing that, thinking about how important that is, questioning if she needs it, trying to learn her lessons in regards to it, and also trying to really sift through, identify, and get clarity about any limiting beliefs that have created blockages for her. Because there's something in regards to this Hierophant energy that has put her into this energy. Here's our Queen of Swords. Our Queen of Swords blocks us from seeing her through transparency, which is such an interesting thing. She has so many layers here that she's becoming difficult to see. She's thinking so much. She has so much. She's doing so much planning, so much strategy. She's trying to get this clarity, these lessons that have come from this Hierophant energy. She's trying to understand these limiting beliefs and cut them away, cut through the fog so that she can get precisely to the place where she needs to be, because she feels that she is blocking herself from receiving expression from the divine masculine. The Knight of Cups is here. It's in its reversal, and it's the divine feminine energy is not comfortable with this card when it's in its reversal. She's feeling overwhelmed by that tidal wave of emotions. The Knight of Cups can handle it. He is meditating right there at the top of Niagara Falls. Like, he doesn't care. He's fine. He's Gucci. And in divine feminine's headspace, she's not able to receive from him because she's not comfortable here. This all of this emotion that he sends her. Listen, it's funny. She's asking, please express to me. Please express to me how you feel. Won't you express to me? Please express to me. Please do it. But she has an expectation of how this expression should be. It should be directly to me. It should be, you should be speaking it to me. You should be, whatever it is. He does express to her sometimes really tumultuous, difficult, chaotic, scary, frightening emotions that he's having in regards to the situation. And he may do this indirectly through body language, through music, through, the things he's choosing to focus on, through his interests, through whatever it is that he's displaying how he's feeling to this divine feminine. She sees it and is fucking terrified. And is like, I can't handle that. And then goes into this Queen of Swords energy and blocks him. She thinks she's begging him for clarity, honesty, truth, integrity, but she's trying to protect herself from how much he loves her, from how much emotion he has in regards to her, for how, if Divine Feminine has not yet learned in her Hierophant energy how to receive because of limiting traditional beliefs, if she hasn't learned how to receive from this Divine Masculine, it's because she's expecting a traditional thing. She's thinking that it's supposed to come to her in this traditional way. And for this particular Divine Masculine, it does not. So she's turned off the faucet herself. She's like, no, you can't express to me. And he's like, what the actual fuck? You want me to tell you how I feel so that you'll know that I love you and you'll give me the time I need and the space I need to get all my shit together and get everything right so that we can be together? But then the only means I have of doing this, you're like, no, not good enough. And Divine Feminine is thinking about how she's realizing that she shut off the faucet, that she stopped Divine Masculine from pouring into her cup because she was afraid of the non-traditional way that it was unfolding. And she had these limiting beliefs about her ability to accept this love and her worthiness to receive it. And she is filled with regret and disappointment. And she is regretting that she has walked away because she was mistaken. I can't even do this reading. Like, I'm just going to shut it off and walk away. All right. Okay. Goodbye to the ego. Go away. This Eight of Cups is in its reversal in regards to the Hierophant energy. She walked away from the sacred union because she was afraid. The same reason that Divine Masculine doesn't express directly, because he's afraid. Because remember, the two of them are twins. So the Divine Feminine side of himself is feeling this way. And the Divine Masculine side of the Divine Feminine is feeling the way that we're going to see him feeling in a minute, which I can't even fucking believe when I look at it. God damn it. She's regretting. She's sorrowful. She thought she was supposed to walk away from what doesn't serve her, and she walked away from her Knight of Cups instead of walking away from the limiting beliefs about the Knight of Cups. And she needs to walk away from this. She needs to walk away from her expectations of things being traditional, ordinary, normal, usual, the way everyone else does it, how it happens on TV, movies, books, whatever the fuck. She needs to walk away from this tradition that's been etched into her brain about how things are supposed to be. Instead of walking away and shutting off the faucet for this Divine Masculine. And she's really feeling this regret. And then I can't make this up because I have done these readings for 3 days in a row live, and you can go watch them if you haven't seen them, and you can see that when I read Divine Feminine Headspace every morning, I read 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and for 3 days in a row, the 5th card has been the Magician. 3 days, 5, 5, 5. And the Magician is the 1 card, right? Which is 3. 3 times we saw the Magician. The Magician is about becoming one, right? 2 things becoming one. Manifesting an idea into a reality. Blending the ethereal quality into the physical. Taking the vibration and creating a solid form from it. The Magician is clarifying the Queen of Swords. So Divine Feminine knows that in doing this thing that she has done to cut out this energy, while she has blocked herself from receiving, she has also increased in her power to manifest. because she had to detach from the specific divine masculine and regain her own strength and power in order to be able to be in a position to receive. So she has an understanding that while there are shadow traits associated with Queen of Swords, there's a lot of power in clarity, in strategy, in being able to have new ideas and wield them with courage and bravery, in being able to take a look at the self and try to determine where it is that your blocks are, why you're being defensive. This journey for the divine feminine has made her incredibly powerful. And then we've got some overthinking because we've got 3 cards instead of 1 in the final place in the headspace, clarifying our Knight of Cups in reverse. First card up is the Empress in reverse. So we are in the shadow traits of the Empress. Not great, right? Blocking fertility, blocking creativity, blocking abundance, blocking the ability to shift into a place of stability. And this is what makes divine feminine feel so afraid of her own power. Divine masculine's expression of love for her, need for her, desire for her, when she, in and of herself, is only just learning how to really embody this masculine worth energy of manifestation in her own life, when she's just learning how to be an empress, this destabilizes her. This makes her feel very afraid. And so she reacts rashly. And her 10 of Pentacles is back. Now, what is so interesting about this overthinking is, so the divine masculine not expressing in the Knight of Cups energy, her inability to receive his expression, and her that has destabilized her. It is her attachment to this material manifestation that is in the way she thinks it should be. So her attachment to a specific person affects how she feels her happiness should look in the material world. And if it doesn't meet her expectations, she's destabilized in her Empress energy. Instead of standing strong in this foundation of the 10 of Pentacles and letting this be stable, because there's no expectations about what it can look like. So this is what she's really working on, trying to understand. What is it that constitutes this? This was at the forefront of her mind yesterday. Now it's in the last position in her mind. It's moved from the front of her mind to being sort of grounded there, as in like, I must identify what will make me happy, truly happy in the material, and not allow my divine masculines in expression to destabilize my Empress power. I must open myself to receiving so that I can stabilize and be abundant. How can I create life if I can't receive life? How can I create a manifestation if I can't receive the thing I want? And so her final thought is, I must communicate with this Ace of Wands. I must send some form of a communication to my divine masculine. I must express that I don't know how to be open to receiving the kind of love that divine masculine is sending, because it's not anything I've ever experienced before, and because I have limiting beliefs about my ability to receive from him. And I regret the decision I made to block this individual from my life or push this individual away from me by trying to control the outcome. I'm sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it better? Please forgive me. 4 parts to the apology for 4 cards. I'm sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it better? Please forgive me. Divine Feminine heart space, top of the deck, overall heart space is the Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. How interesting. How interesting. This is so important to the Divine Feminine. She really wants to see herself getting as much back as she's putting in. And that was the thing that was making her chafe and want to push away the Divine Masculine, because she was not perceiving what she was receiving in the material as good enough to meet her expectations. What's funny is she's confused about why Divine Masculine feels like he's not good enough. And what she's realizing is because she's constantly been telling him he's not. What you're doing is not good enough. What you're saying is not good enough. What you have to offer me right now in this current moment is not good enough. And then she's like, why doesn't Divine Masculine feel good enough? He's like, you're telling me I'm not. And so there's this moment where she's realizing that she actually has been giving Divine Masculine exactly what she's been receiving from him. This lack of reciprocity is of her own creation. She doesn't interpret what comes from Divine Masculine as being the same weight as what she gives because of her expectations about what it should constitute. And instead of focusing on the spiritual side, the love that she receives, she's focused on the material expression of the love she receives, even though she's clearly terrified to receive it. And she feels foolish. The niggling feeling in her heart space is, I feel like a fucking fool right now. And I want to start again. I want to go back to the beginning. I want to heal this wound that has pushed me into this point where I have done this to this person who I love, because I didn't understand that things that I grew up with, saw, are all around me, formed me, shaped me, and made me feel like this is the way that this should happen. And if it doesn't happen this way, then somehow I'm not being valued, or my worthiness isn't being seen, or whatever story I have told myself, which I know is not true, because the truth is that I'm not valuing myself. And so I'm seeking that value to come from outside of myself. And if it's not coming the way that I expect it, then my worthiness is in question. And I'm trying to get my worthiness from this other person's validation. And even though I'm saying I'm not doing that, I'm still doing that. So I want to start again. I want to start again, and I want to really embrace my value in this Nine of Pentacles energy. I want to understand that my reward is myself, and that I am independent, and I have abundance, and I have the ability to create my own happiness, going from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. And this is what's clarifying the Hierophant. I will have my reward. I will have my sacred union. Because my sacred union is in myself. I know that. But somehow I used this sacred union to try to manipulate my Divine Masculine. And I didn't mean to do that. I was just afraid. And your heart wants this Three of Cups energy. It wants to take this Queen of Swords seriousness and cut that away and be more playful and be more lighthearted and be more in celebration and in appreciation and in joy, because in that state, we will melt away the ice of that queen. We will melt away the reasons to be protective, because there is nothing to protect yourself from. You're protecting yourself from love because you want it to be a certain way. So your heart space is urging this happiness, this joyfulness, this playfulness, this lightheartedness on you. Enjoy, appreciate this Nine of Pentacles. Melt the iciness of this Queen. You're protecting yourself from a third-party energy that's not actually a problem. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Cups in reverse. And this is a knight who has been sitting there, not moving, with a very solid offer. And Divine Feminine is realizing for the first time that the reason that Divine Masculine is not coming towards her is because she has blocked him from every single opportunity to do so. By being attached to a specific manifestation, she has blocked him from every attempt he has made to try to come forward with this offer. She's been focused on something else. And so her true DM cannot come in and express. She has done everything she could. He is ready. And she has blocked him. He is ready to pick up this sword in the Page of Swords energy, this new idea, without any idea of how to wield it, with bravery and courage. And he's actually been doing that the whole time. And this is clarifying the regret in the heart space, the Eight of Cups. Because Divine Feminine is willing to pick this sword up and see with clarity what she regrets. She's willing to face the fear and feelings and sadness that come up from this disappointment. She's bravely looking within herself to understand why she halted the momentum. Here's the Eight of Wands. Why she stopped this train from moving forward. Clarifying the Magician. This was in her power. This was her manifestation. She's bravely looking inside of her heart and seeing how she has stopped these messages from coming. She's preventing these messages from coming because of her fears about how they were coming, how long it was taking, what they constituted, not really understanding it. But instead of just trusting in the union and trusting that everything was being done on her behalf, she would go into her devil energy and doubt and fear and worry, and she would break her own heart and betray herself painfully. And Divine Feminine this time has caused this painful separation. And this is what's clarifying the Empress in reverse. 10 of Pentacles that she's been attached to, and in so doing, blocked her physical union and her desire to communicate. Her headspace is saying, you must communicate this apology. It's you that has to bring justice. Remember, Justice was here yesterday? Divine Feminine. Whoops. It's okay. It's okay. This is a journey. You get to make mistakes on the journey. You get to do that. That's the whole point. That's the agreement that you made with this twin soul. You're like, hey, I love you so much. You love me so much because you're myself. So like, are you willing to go on this crazy journey where we just keep triggering the fuck out of each other so that we can heal and grow and expand and like become the best versions of ourselves? And you're like, totally. I'm on the same page with you. Because we're twins. It's okay. It's the whole point. If this didn't happen, you couldn't have learned this lesson. Not this quickly. It would have taken a lot longer, multiple incarnations. The twin flame journey, the journey of the light worker, it feels like when you explain your life to people, they're like, are you just describing a plot of a movie? Because this is insanity that this has happened to one person in one person's lifetime. You're like, no, this is pretty much really happening to me. And they're like, what? It's crazy. The traumas that you go through, that you recover from, that happen again and again. This is a crazy journey. Okay, Divine Masculine. Let's look at you. Wow. All right, top of the deck for Divine Masculine. Headspace, forefront of his mind, the Lovers. The theme for Tuned in Tarot for this month. We are looking at the card of union, the card of manifestation as well, because it's when things physically manifest, when they've traveled in this journey. And we get to the Lovers, we're at the 6, right? The reciprocity, reciprocal love. Divine Masculine is focused on this union. It is all he can think about. It is all he wants. And right now he's working with a Divine Feminine who owes him an apology. And he doesn't care. He loves her anyway. He wants to be with her. He understands. He does the same thing. He kind of feels good about it. He's like, guess we can't all be perfect. Okay, salty. The niggling feeling he has in regards to the Lovers is our Prince of Wands, otherwise known as the Knight of Wands, who Divine Feminine does not love all the time. Because this is not a consistent energy. This is that energy of coming in, being very passionate, just, and then not sticking around. But that's the shadow traits of this card. The light traits of the Knight of Wands is I want to throw caution to the wind and follow my passion and communicate and in new ideas, new opportunities, new ways of being. And because it's new, I don't have really a plan, and it's really spontaneous and it's just kind of happening. But I'm so passionate. There's so much strength in me and so much belief in what it is that I want to be an activist for, that I'm just going to fly right in and I'm going to do whatever it is. So the niggling thing in the back of his mind is he wants to throw caution to the wind and renew this relationship. Bring it to that fool's energy, start again, be new. And he doesn't care anymore what's been holding him back. He just wants this so much. He's ready. First thing on his mind, the Star. The Divine Feminine in her star energy. Right now, she's the only thing in this darkness that he's in. And Divine Feminine has put him here because Divine Feminine has taken action either in regards to him or non-action in regards to him. And he feels like he's been thrust into this Knight of Wands energy now, where he's like passionate. He's a little pissed. Like he's got to make something happen. And so he's been in the darkness. He's been in the sadness. He's been holding on to this Divine Feminine as his star, the one who's doing this healing work. He's also seeing Divine Feminine as having to do her own healing. And he's kind of having an appreciation for that. It's funny because this whole time Divine Feminine sort of on her high horse, like, I'm working on myself and I know what I'm doing and I'm this and I'm that. And like, okay, well, you do some homework, don't you? You do the homework you're comfortable doing. I see the homework you're not comfortable doing still sitting there. How many days has it been since you haven't done that homework, Divine Feminine? It's just sitting right over there, just looking at you while you like talk on the phone longer than you should, right? And you're like, Divine Masculine really needs to get his shit together. He really needs to like heal himself. I mean, what is he even doing right now? Like, come on. I'm doing so much stuff. I'm doing so much work right now. Like, oh no, I didn't do that yet. No, I'm just a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. I have a call later. Feel familiar? So divine masculine is a little bit today like, I mean, she's got to heal some stuff. She's got to like figure some shit out. It's not just me. It's not just me. And he's aware that she's doing this work. He understands also that in this reflection that he sees of her, that she's illuminating for him where he has wounds too. Because that is the whole point of this journey. But divine feminine is definitely on his mind, first thing on his mind. And also that cosmic connection between them. The next thing on his mind is the 10 of Wands in its reversal. So we have a resistance here. He doesn't want to put a burden down. He wants to put a burden down, I think. But he's resistant to doing it because when he puts this burden down, he has to release specific attachment. I'm assuming it's got to do with the divine feminine because it's coming out after the star energy and it's coming before the 6 of Cups in reverse, which is in a mirror with and 6 of Cups upright. So divine masculine. He is resisting putting down this burden of attachment to the divine feminine because he desires this reunion so much. He's trying to fight against his awareness that he needs to drop the past and walk away. He's really, really having a hard time releasing things. This is not a divine masculine who's comfortable with releasing any more than our divine feminine is. But he's really immersed in the past and he's struggling to put that down. But he wants to do it because he understands as he shifts out of that energy of the past that it will help to unblock him. And this is what divine feminine is healing, right? This block between them, this stuck energy, this grappling that they've been doing. And he wants to stop fighting with himself and blocking himself from being able to illuminate. And that's the other thing too about this card is that he wants to reveal the divine feminine to others. He understands this is a blockage that he's kept her hidden. And he doesn't want to keep her hidden anymore. He wants to release his attachment to the material. But this is what he's very much resisting. It's really hard for him to put down this burden. He's afraid of other outside opinions. This 4 of Pentacles in the Cosmic Tarot, we've got this doctor telling the patient something. There's this idea that he's seeking validation in others. And he's really scared of what will happen when he releases this attachment, this burden of having to be concerned about what his public perception, his public persona is. This could be a person with some prominence or a person of prominence in their family, and he doesn't want to be perceived a certain way. So it's been very difficult for him to put down the burden of his past associations, the people in his life. This is the thing that has really prevented him and that he knows he must unblock. He has to unblock this attachment to what others care about, how others feel. And he's really impatient. Here's the 3 of Wands in its reversal, which is a card about patience. It's a card about drawing inspiration from the divine, understanding the pieces have all been put into place. It can also, when it's in reversal, be about a feeling of it's time, right? It's time. And it is clarifying the reunion. And his head is like, bro, it's past time, right? It's well past time. Like, it needed to be done yesterday. Like, come on. Okay? That's his headspace. His heart space, top of the deck for his heart space, 3 of Pentacles upright. Vice versa tarot. In this side, we see one individual carrying this block On this side, we see the cleric and the craftsman, right? The spirit and the material working together. Teamwork, collaboration. When we're looking at it here, we're seeing that this divine masculine has been working on his block. And we see that's true. He's been unblocking. What he's been unblocking, he's telling us in his headspace, is his fear about public perception of him. How divine feminine perceives him, of course, but how others perceive him in his position, however it is, in which is of some prominence. He has been working really hard on removing this block so that he can do what it is that he wants to do. And his heart and his head, which is like it's past time. The niggling feeling in his heart is be patient, hold your vision, draw that inspiration, that solace from the divine, that these pieces are falling into place and your ship is coming in and you're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it. That same sense in the headspace of it's past time, the heart space is like, it is time. There's divine time here. There's divine timing. But be patient, divine masculine, because it does take some time to work on a block like this. Wow. The Chariot, upright, heading towards the star. Motion forward, balanced, together. The ego no longer driving, the divine controlling the reins, and working together without pulling in opposite directions. Forward motion towards revealing this divine feminine to the world. Union with divine feminine, 8 of Cups in reverse. Same regret, same sorrow, same disappointment, same feeling, having walked away from each other, regretting it. Divine feminine, having walked away because she was too afraid to receive what was in the cup, because it wasn't traditional, because it didn't look like she expected it to look. So letting it slip away because of the pressure she was putting on it for it to be this specific traditional thing. Divine masculine, regretting walking away from the 2 of Cups. But understanding that he had to do that. This is clarifying the burden. This 8 of Cups is clarifying in reverse, is clarifying the burden he hasn't wanted to put down, the reluctance to walk away from what doesn't serve him. This is what he regrets. I regret how difficult it has been for me to walk away from these past associations whose opinions and ideas I have cared about so much that I have blocked myself from this 2 of Cups and from my reunion. But there's another reason why there's a reversal on this card because of the vice versa tarot. It's not just a normal 2 of Cups in reverse because there are 2 sides to it. There's this side, which is the front side of the card and vice versa. And then there's the other side, which is a divine couple that is in the light, not hidden. The star illuminates, right? Here's the star. This star connected them and brought them together as star seeds in their light work. But what divine masculine wants to reverse is that he has kept this hidden and has kept it in the 5D in a space where it's only been enjoyed by the 2 of them in darkness. And he wants to bring this into the light, releasing the past energy and fully coming into a union that is here in the material. Another card of union. The Hierophant, upright. Here it is. Powerful, 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 rigid, limiting beliefs, higher lessons, etc. Divine masculine and divine feminine have both been blocked by this for very different reasons. Divine feminine's traditions and limiting beliefs seemed a lot more innocent than divine masculine's. His were overtly limiting many people accepted them as being limiting, were surprised that they were part of his belief system and functioned as an obvious block. Divine Feminine, however, had the same block, but her limiting beliefs were more difficult to kind of trace and pull out because they were acceptable and normalized, but they were still limiting. The same exact block for Divine Feminine is the same exact block for Divine Masculine. It's also about wanting sacred union. The both of them want it. But Divine Masculine's heart space is showing him what has held him back. He's learned his lessons, though. He's achieved a higher understanding, a higher level of understanding about the powerful effects of these limiting beliefs on his life. And here he's doing this hard work of releasing the attachment he has to this Queen of Wands, the attachment he has to the opinions about what people will think about this fiery queen, because she is fiery. She's emotional. She's reactive. She is pissed off at him right now, which is one of the reasons we're seeing her in her reversal. Or he feels, remember, this is his heart space. I don't know that Divine Feminine actually is pissed off. She might be. It looks like she's feeling regret, though, and sorrow about her behavior and actions. So his fears about her being pissed off because how much he cared about the opinions of others, how much he cared about his material well-being instead of caring about her with the kind of passion or showing her in a way that was more in alignment with how she wanted to receive. He has regrets over this, and he understands that this has caused a problem between them. And then we have overfeeling for Divine Masculine, which is very interesting when you see what it is. The impatience is for justice. Divine Feminine is wanting to bring Divine Masculine justice and realizing that the justice that she needs to bring, she actually needs to bring to this Divine Masculine. I might have said Divine Feminine. No, I did. That was correct. This is the burden he wants to put down too. They both have to apologize to each other. There's that burden he's resisting putting down. In his heart space, he's ready to end this. He's ready to drop it and walk away. Say he's sorry. Divine Feminine has those 4 parts of the apology. I'm sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it better? Please forgive me. He's saying it is long past due for this to happen, for him to put down the burden and bring this justice to the two of them. But now there's a sign, a true sign here from Divine Feminine, that her understanding is that this is not an imbalance in terms of justice. They both need to apologize for what they've done. Divine Feminine, let's look at your oracles. Now, it was really interesting because you all got 1 card each of the oracles today. And you both had Divine Feminine was overthinking by 2 cards. Divine Masculine was overfeeling by 2 cards. Love that. Divine Feminine, you are in the light traits of the teacher, which is an ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So you are really learning from yourself, you're teaching others, you're showing others from your experiences what you have done. Divine Masculine is learning a ton from you, and you're learning every day from the interactions that you have with people. And you've released any of the shadow attributes, which would be manipulating or abusing your students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. So you're no longer in any of those shadow traits. You're just truly in the light, really having a strong ability to communicate. Saint Cecilia is here to tell you to play music. And you know, when she shows up and you don't listen, she can be pretty persistent. So play music today. If you're a musician, play. If you are not a musician and you're just a music lover, listen to music. Listen to the messages that come from music. That reminds me, I did not bring up the songs today yet. Let me bring up the songs for you. The first song for the Divine Masculine Shuffle was a Beck song called Seventh Heaven. I will say that when you use lyrics online, they are usually incorrect. The best source for them is whiskeyclone.net, and that's where I went to get these lyrics. They are very interesting. So Divine Masculine song says, I want to see you with the Pharaoh's curse. Also back at his finest in terms of lyrics. I want to see you with the Pharaoh's curse, the apple flower doggerel, the batteries burst, and I'm out in the city in the typical noise, in the suntan ellipse and the filigree of energy. What you want and what you need. When I'm down on my knees with my pocket full of widows, you can do it down here, what you never did there, when you feel untethered from the broken veneer. Don't tell nobody I'm here. The chorus is, now I'm far from the world in your seventh heaven. Now you gotta let me know or you gotta let me go. I'm gonna take it with me. A second language, a burden of hope. I've seen it all come clean like a guillotine nose, a photograph, a low life laugh. We'll shoot for the empire, land in the dust pile. I want to wake up in the shadow of a fever pitch with a gold glass heart sending messages. I hear the voice over the phone. She pauses, says, I'll never, never go. Oh, can I stay here with you? I'm gonna, and then it's the chorus again, and then someday there might be something better. You can change your mind, but forget her, which always kills me whenever I listen to the song. And then, so let it rise to the highest high in the satellite sky, up to the seventh heaven. Now I'm starting to fall from your seventh heaven. Okay, so that was Divine Masculine's energy. Divine Feminine's energy was my sister's friend's band, Bleached, the song Turn to Rage. Call me what you like. I'm not trying to make it right. Don't you know it's going to blow up in your face? Maybe I want it that way. Maybe I want to be your slave. Courage to engage until it turns to rage. Drown me in your delight. I've been climbing to catch some height. And then the chorus repeats. So yeah, that tracks. So listen to music and listen to the messages you're getting from music today. And if you're ever curious what songs that have been shuffled and I forget to mention them, which does happen sometimes, they definitely guide the theme. When I hear the songs, I understand, oh, this is where the masculine energy is, this is where the feminine energy, this is the energy of the union, etc. So if I forget to mention it and you're like, oh, I wonder what songs, if you follow me on Instagram, the way that I announce that I'm about to go live on YouTube is that I post a time-lapse video of shuffling. And then as long as the songs are available through Instagram, I will post the songs that came up. So you can always go listen to the song there and look up the lyrics before the reading. All right. My attention to it invites it in. Every thought that you give your attention to expands and becomes a bigger part of your vibrational mix. Whether it is a thought of something you want or a thought of something you do not want, your attention to it invites the essence of your experience. So pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Check in with yourself. Develop that meditation skill where you have the ability to stop and check in and be like, where are my emotions right now? Because my emotions are going to tell me what I'm thinking about. And if my emotions are not great, then I must be thinking about not great things. So I need to shift my focus and my attention because I want to think about things that I want to happen. And if I'm thinking about something that I want while at the same time doubting my ability to have it, guess what? I can't have that. I can't have that. So if I'm like, I want my DM so bad, that is a feeling of I can't have him, so I'm afraid I'm gonna lose him. I need this love from him so much. Versus like, dude, I am fucking stoked for when my GM and I get to do like this, and that is gonna be like so incredibly fun. Pay attention to what you want to see. Don't pay attention to shit you don't want to see. Don't ignore that the shit you don't want to see is coming from somewhere within and you need to kind of go dig it out and find out, why is that showing up? I don't want that. Why is that showing up though? Go find why it's showing up. But then after you've done that, own the shame, out it, and move the fuck on. And then guess what happens? You get what you want. Divine Feminine. Nothing will come of this situation. I can't tell you the exact meaning this card has for you. think I know what it means for me. But this is a void of course moon, which is a moon that is not anything. It's not a little of this and it's not a little of that. It's right in the in between. There's not one chance of one thing happening or more of a chance of another thing happening. It's like, nothing will come of this situation. Whatever it is you're thinking about right now that your brain jumped to immediately, that is something that you do not need to fear. It could be number one, I don't need to fear that something's going to come of this situation. I'm worrying about something for no reason. There's no reason why it might be more likely that this or that would happen. Or it could be, do not do that because nothing will come of this situation. So you'll do that, you'll make that effort, and it really won't sway things either way. So whatever jumped into your mind when you saw that card and was like, ooh, that's probably what your message is about. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. I don't know why I sang that. I'm just feeling punchy right now. Don't really know why. Oh, I'm so excited about the next card. I've never seen it before. Okay, let me just focus. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So you have a whole bunch of ancestors who are rooting for you to make this work because they did a bunch of stuff to try to get you all into the place where you come into alignment and carry on their legacy. And they're hoping that you get it right this incarnation. So they got your back. They're here with you. And they're like, all right, we're going to make this happen. You can call on them for assistance if you're feeling alone. Remember, you're not. There's much energy that's invested in this union. You're getting spirit, which I'm taking as a sign that I'm going to get an email today about my potential ability to bring home the husky that is named Ice. I want him so much, and I'm really, really believing that he's coming. Okay, turn knowledge into wisdom. We're using the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle, which I'm learning, so I'm going to read you the beautiful passages that come from this book. Wolf Spirit leads you deep into the enchanted forest that holds the secrets to your life. Can you sense her beckoning you to follow, asking you to take all you have learned and all you are learning and make it yours? Can you integrate it all into your body, mind, and spirit? Whatever lessons you learned along the way, do not leave them unexamined. Be loyal to your dreams, to your soul, and to turning knowledge into wisdom and experience into magic. You are the one you have been waiting for. Be still and know that the sound of your heart beats in harmony with the whole world. The appearance of wolf spirit is an auspicious omen that says you are truly in alignment with your destiny. So, be very confident. You are in alignment with your destiny. You are the one who you have been waiting for. That's a beautiful card. Okay. Divine Masculine Oracles. Well, looky. Divine Feminine, feeling like a fool, wants a new beginning. Hey, there's her counterpart. Divine Masculine. Fool energy. The light attributes of the Fool are fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Okay, Divine Masculine. You are in the light attributes right now of being comfortable being a fool. You're a fool for love, and you are fearlessly revealing that emotion right now. Divine Feminine can't tell, though, because she's tuned right out. She's blocking you, so she can't see this. She can't feel this. She wants to, and she's feeling foolish for having done that. But you're in the light traits of the Fool. Your guardian angel is here to support you in being brave. Remember, fearlessly revealing emotion requires bravery. So you are very supported in this energy. Don't put those unwanted ingredients in my pie. Imagine yourself as a chef in an extremely well kitchen where there are many ingredients that are not appropriate for your creation, but you feel no discomfort about their existence. You simply utilize the ingredients that will enhance your creation, and you leave the ingredients that are not appropriate for your creation out of your pie. Okay? This is you not giving a fuck, not worrying about the opinions, ideas, um, thoughts, words, press, media, whatever the fuck you're worried about, that has all of these ideas about what you're doing and who you are and what constitutes you and what constitutes your creation and whether it's good and whether it's this and whether it's that or whatever. Those things are going to exist. They're in the well-stocked kitchen, but you don't need to put those things in your creation. You only need to put in your creation the things that support it. And I just saw 11:12, which means I just saw it turn over from 11:11. Okay. A new romantic cycle begins. And we got the Fool twice. New romantic cycle is beginning. There's been a healing that's happened. You know, you saw the star in your own headspace. You know Divine Feminine has done some healing. You can feel it inside of her. And you forgive her. You're not upset. You're okay with it. You just want her to tell you, are you going to really let me go or not? Just let me know, please, if you are, because then I will just be just so devastated. So you do understand that there's a new romantic cycle here because both of you have healed a wound. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries, Divine Masculine? Who's trying to take from you right now? Who is it something in the material world that you're worried about in regards to this Divine Feminine? Somebody trying to take from your experience, somebody having a word or a thought or a care even about your experience is none of your business. Those are ingredients that aren't meant for your pie. So where do you need to establish these better boundaries? Maybe you need to establish better boundaries with Divine Feminine. She's working on establishing healthy boundaries with you. And then finally, we have the protection message from another card I've never seen before, Parrot Spirit, which is watch your words. The protection message is, are you aware of what you're saying to yourself and others? Parrot Spirit shows up as a reminder to heed the words that flow from your mouth, your pen, and your keyboard. Be mindful of the beliefs you have internalized. Are they what you choose to believe? Are you communicating with integrity? Parrot Spirit wants you to listen to what you say and your motives for saying it. Right speech is called for now, which means you are called to reflect on the beliefs that have been parroted by people so often that you have simply accepted them unquestioningly. Journal about what you truly believe and wish to see in the world and in your life. Write words affirming what you value. Speak them aloud, expressing gratitude for what is just coming into being. Your voice has power, and you can change the conversation in your heart and in the world around you. Parrots represent the law of praise, so you are called to speak the truth and speak with love. Divine Feminine, when you hear these messages from Divine Masculine, and vice versa, and you walk away from the reading, and you're identifying with one energy or the other, and you focus on the oracle messages from the energy you identify with, remember, you are missing out on the fact that this oracle message is for you as a whole person. So when I read this card and you're like, Divine Masculine, you need to do right speech. You need to journal about what you truly believe and wish you want to see in your life. Like, get it together, Divine Masculine. Write the words. Do this that you have to do, please. Hold up a mirror next to the screen that you're looking at and just look at yourself and say, hey, you need to journal about what you wish and want to truly believe and wish and see in the world. You need to go do that work. You need to go to howtomanifest.com. You need to get yourself an account or something where you are journaling about these things and you are doing the work, whoever you are, no matter what your gender is, because it is not about gender. It is about the energy that is inside of yourself. Just a reminder. But Divine Masculine energy This is very important for you. In order for the divine masculine worth energy to feel in its worth, you must heed that message. You must watch your words. You must be aware of what you're saying to yourself and others. You must understand the power that it has when you write down things and say things and speak things into life. You have to question if the opinions that you're hearing, the beliefs that you've internalized, and ask whether those are ingredients that belong in your pie or not, whether they're in your kitchen or not, matters not. And you have to be comfortable with choosing only what works for your pie. All right. Final messages for this divine couple. You're in the light attributes of the athlete, which is a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, and development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. So, y'all are doing it. You're getting a medal. You're doing really well. Athletes train for life, for their whole life, to be incredibly at the peak of what their body can accomplish, right? It's the material manifestation of dedication seen visibly on the outside, and with the ability to excel at these difficult physical tasks. And they work themselves harder than anyone so that they can achieve this. You both are doing that. So you need to take a moment and appreciate what it takes to be where you are on this journey, because you are in the light of this. You have a dedication to transcending the physical limits and handicaps that you've come here with. Developed your personal willpower and strength of spirit so that you can win. And your guardian is God and love again. Your guardian is the source of life. Love. That is what is keeping you bound together. Oh, there's my little house. I'm trying to get a little house on the East Coast. There it is. I am a vibrational transmitter and receiver. In every moment, you are broadcasting a very specific vibrational signal that is instantly being understood and answered. And immediately, your present and future circumstances begin changing in response to the signal you are projecting. The entire universe right now is being affected by what you are offering. What are you offering? What are you offering? I'm offering my little excitement about how I have a little house in my future at some point in the woods with trees around it. There is a house like this in my future. That's what I'm broadcasting right now. I saw that and was like, oh, there it is. That is what I'm offering to the universe. The trust, the belief that this sign came to me because I'm meant to have what it is that I want. That's the message I'm broadcasting right now. I'm also talking about it, and I'm telling you all about it. And so I'm increasing the amount of people who are now in agreement with me about this belief that I can manifest this little house somewhere, that this jumped out of my whole deck to remind me of this thing that I want to have with my child. So now I'm breathing life into it by my words, and I'm breathing positive life into it because I'm not focused or giving attention or sending out a vibrational signal that is about my fear about whether I can get that house or not. I had an experience where my son told me that he's been looking for houses. So first he looked for vans. Now he's looking for houses. And he was telling his father, my controlling ex-husband, that he was looking for a house. And he said dismissively, your mother's not going to buy a house. And William was like, why? And he's like, because of her credit. And my son said he felt so satisfied because he recently, through me, had found out that my credit is repaired after being terribly damaged by an extreme amount of student loans and a divorce that completely ruined me almost 10 years ago. But my ex-husband has no sense of who I am, so he doesn't have a sense that like I would have good credit now or anything like that. And my son said he felt so satisfied because he was like, yeah, that's probably true. And just like went into his room and was like, he has no idea who my mom is or what my mom is capable of, right? I don't resonate anymore with that old energy. It didn't even sway me or make me feel bad that that's what my ex-husband is saying to my child, because my child knows who I am because I've been projecting to him what I'm capable of. He sees the possibility and the potential for this house. So the both of us are holding the vision for this. That's what we're broadcasting. Now I'm broadcasting and putting it out to the world. And now there's multiple people believing it with me and pulling it, all of our power together and manifesting that. That's how mainstream limiting beliefs become a thing. So that's how you create reality for yourself. Broadcast. Pay attention to what you are offering. Rest easy because conclusions are within your reach. This means we're not waiting years here to see what's going to happen. We're not waiting years. This is days, weeks, maybe months, but not years. This is within reach. You're not going to die of old age before you see the conclusions. Your Council of Light is here. Divine orchestration and helpers in the subtle realm. That's 2 times today. 2 very important messages about receiving help from your light council and from ancestors. And you must trust that you're not doing this by yourself. So if you fuck it up and you make a mistake, Divine Feminine, you're like, shit, I need to apologize. Like, I can see what I did and it's kind of fucked up. Or Divine Masculine is in the same position or whatever. It's like there's really nothing you can do to fuck this up. That's that 3 of Wands energy. It's like, y'all, the pieces have been put in place and it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. So let it happen. Let this manifestation come. And then you're getting Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. He was here yesterday too. We're going to read it again because I don't know it yet completely. When Antelope Spirit rushes into your life, you are being reminded of the quickening of your personal evolution as a powerful co-creator. You are being told unequivocally that it's time to get moving, set your intentions, and take action toward making your dreams real. There is an intensity you can feel, and it is important to take advantage of this energy right now. If you have a plan for your career or financial abundance, now is the time to step up. If you're asking about a relationship, make that first move. Just know that the intentions you have set in motion are coming together now at warp speed. Stay alert and keep up. Things are getting interesting when Antelope Spirit calls you to move quickly. Now, Divine Masculine, this was your message yesterday, and now you're both getting this message. So heads up, Divine Masculine, you better pay attention because this is 2 times you got this message. Divine Feminine, you better pay attention because this is 2 times you got this message because you both got this message yesterday. Not just the masculine energy that you're projecting into your material world got this message, but you did too. And the divine is trying to explain to you now. This is so important. If it's a material manifestation that you're wanting, a career change or whatever, you need to make that move towards it. If it's a relationship that you're wanting, you need to make that move towards it. Now, if you're in one energy or the other and you're like, I can't because the ball is in their court and part of the journey is that they need to come towards me, fine. Then don't make a move towards that specific manifestation. That's fine. But make a move in another way in your life. Either move towards another energy because that energy isn't moving, or move towards a career change because as you shift into your worthiness energy, that is directly connected to love and relationships. You have to figure out for yourself how to do the things that are told on both sides. Because you have to give yourself what you feel you're not receiving from this person. The person is not responsible for giving you any of that. You are responsible for giving it to yourself. You only want it from another person because you're afraid you can't provide it for yourself, and you can. But these messages are for the both of you. So take heed and start moving. All right, we're ready to close out the reading. Now that I'm done yelling at you and it's at 1 hour and 14 minutes. So Minerva is the goddess that is with us for our goddess practice today. We have been ending these readings with a goddess practice where we have, after the reading at some point during the day, before bed, whatever you get a chance, you're putting two hands over your heart and you're saying, my heart is the heart of the goddess, as a mantra for at least 15 minutes in a meditative state. And we're doing that to balance the divine feminine energy because we've been very focused in our world on divine masculine energy. Look at the statistics. I don't need to give you those. And divine masculine and divine feminine must be in balance in everyone, no matter what your gender. So this isn't just a practice for the divine feminine. This is a practice for all of us. We need to embody the heart of the goddess. We have suppressed her. We have told her she is too weak, that she is too emotional, too reactive. She is too sexual. She is too everything. We have denied her truth, her value, her spirit, her nurturing, her love, her care, her protection, all of the light traits we have said we're not worthy. So we have to renew our relationship with the divine feminine and we have to embody her. And as we heal that part of ourselves, we're going to see whole people walking around, whole individuals who are treating each other with respect, who know how to communicate because they are in balance. Not because they're one or the other, but because they are both things. And that should be our goal. So Minerva is the energy that we will focus on today. You can focus on any goddess energy if you're uncomfortable with goddess energy, if you have a practice that requires that you focus on certain specific deities, use whatever you feel embodies the divine feminine. If you're practicing something that has no divine feminine at all, that's probably imbalanced. I'm just going to tell you. Find a way to embody the divine feminine energy, even if it's Mother Earth. Well, do what you got to do. But this goddess energy, if you're comfortable with focusing on her, is Minerva. The Roman goddess of war and wisdom is usually portrayed as equivalent to the Greek goddess Athena. She was originally an Etruscan goddess of dawn. She is She is revered as a goddess of wisdom, for the light of dawn typifies knowledge. She guides heroes in war and is patroness of all arts, crafts, guilds, and medicine. Called by Ovid the goddess of 1,000 works, she was the inventor of musical instruments, numbers, and many crafts, including weaving. The serpent and the owl were sacred to her. The serpent is an emblem of life energy and the creative impulse. The owl is a symbol of death and wisdom, and thus Minerva, a goddess of the dawn and of wisdom, is also a goddess of death and transformation. Minerva is an incarnation of wisdom in human form, an affirmation that we can use our knowledge and wisdom in the pursuit of any goal we choose. And that's that teacher energy with us again. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today on Tuned In Tarot. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications, the little bell thingy, so that you know when I'm going live. If you want to be here for the live readings, go and participate on the Instagram for the challenges that are coming up. Lovers card, when you see a story pop up with a sticker in it that says, what song do you feel embodies the lovers? Tell me a song you think works for that. I will add it to our playlist. When I shuffle the playlist to do readings from them, you will receive a free reading from me, a free personal reading through video chat or however you prefer, video, whatever it is that you want to do. I can do pre-recorded, I can do live, whatever, but you have that option to win that on through those challenges that I run every month on Tuned In Tarot. And we're getting towards the end of this challenge. So go and participate, pay attention to those stories, make sure you play. It's fun. The more songs we get, the more opportunities we have to hear different perspectives on the Lovers card. And that's something that's really interesting to do, is tap into different energies and different perspectives. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great day today. Take care, balance those energies, do the work.